Welcome to part two of my series on anger. I hope you had a chance to watch the first part. If not, go back and watch that. I spoke about why we need anger, why it shows up, the power behind it, and why you need to feel it and not suppress it. So take a look for that just to give you some context. And today in part two, I'm going to be sharing and modeling 4 amazing, efficient, and effective tools to transmute your anger into something powerful and purposeful. These are going to be physical, so get ready to participate. See you in a minute. So, before I dive into these 4 tools, I also wanted to speak to those of you who have great access to anger. I spoke a lot in the first video around people, in my experience, who have a harder time accessing anger. And so, I do want to address that there are people who have really great access to their anger, but perhaps not as much to their sadness and tears. And so just tune into that. I was sharing in the last video that the sadness and disempowerment that a lot of people will feel is often a mask for anger. And I'm going to share in this moment right now that anger is often a mask for sadness or disempowerment. So just see what comes up for you today or when you do these tools at other times. Maybe you don't have a lot of anger within you today and you're just going to watch and sort of get the tools. And there may be another time where you come back where you really want to process that anger. So just see, you may have a fire in your belly, you may feel this anger in your jaw, you may feel a desire to yell or make a loud noise, which is just really the energy of anger wanting to be expressed. And you may also have some tears that are needing to flow, which is ultimately this energy of sadness that can be buried underneath the anger energy. So, really, just allowing whatever comes through for you to be exactly what you need, whether it's today or when you do this in the future. And I will say that sound is always really helpful. I mentioned that in the last video because we're often suppressing our voice. So even in these exercises I show you, if you can add a little bit of sound, it's going to be very helpful for you. So just to keep this easy to follow, I'm going to share the first 3. I'm going to talk about the first 3, and then I'm going to give you a little demo of them so that you can experience them for yourself. So the first 3 are going to be standing up. So ideally, I would recommend that you stand up for this. When I stand up and show you, you can do them seated, but again, energy is kind of a powerful energy. So we kind of want to give it the space in which to move. So that I'm just going to say that. I'll leave it to you to decide. So the first technique I'm going to share is called an energy sweep. And again, I will be modeling all of these for you, but instead of me getting up and down multiple times, I'm going to explain the first 3 physical ones, and then I will show them to you. So the energy sweep really is, when you, let's say you just feel like you walk into a room and there's some angry energy, or you just feel kind of this anger within you that has kind of come up really quickly for yourself. And you just sense that you just kind of want to get rid of it. It's almost like you want to wash it off or take a shower from it. So the energy sweep is a technique that is used in energy work, often to clear energy. So I'm going to show you that, and it really is. I will explain it here, but again, show you more in detail. But it's a combination of sweeping the energy off your physical body. So starting with your right hand on your left shoulder, sweeping across, then your left hand on your right shoulder, sweeping across. One more time on the right shoulder, sweeping across. So 3 crosses, starting with the right hand, left shoulder. And then you're going to follow up with a sweep with using the right hand to start, sweep down the left arm, use the left hand to sweep down the right arm, and then one more time with the right on the left. And then you're just going to give it a shake. So really is in it, the bigger the shake and the kind of the more vigorously you do this, the better it feels. Okay, so this is the energy sweep, literally going to take you under a minute. And I will guarantee you, it just feels fantastic. I do it often, even between clients, to clear energy. So it doesn't have to be used just for anger, but I'm giving this to you now as an anger energy technique to shift. So that's number one. The second thing I'm going to show you, really probably don't need to show you, but I will, just so that you, because a lot of these things are going to feel maybe uncomfortable, or you're going to feel like you don't have time or you don't want to do them because they are very physical. But I really am going to encourage you, because we can move, as you know from all of my videos, we are such embodied beings, and we can actually move a ton of energy through our physical bodies. But in order to do that, we have to use our physical bodies. So the second tool is shaking. And so I will show you that, but pretty basic, right? Just shaking out energy and really just understanding why this is so powerful. So animals, when they have a stressful experience, you'll see them, they shake off the energy. So you'll see a duck, you'll see a dog, right? They just kind of shake off. If you see them like maybe getting in a little a little scrap with each other, you'll see them, or they have a stressful situation, you'll see them shaking off the energy. And what happens is we have these often throughout our day, right? Whatever it is, we are having a moment with someone at a traffic light, or in driving, it can often come up, or we're having a conversation, or whatever it is, something that feels like stress to the body or actually produces anger, and we just kind of suck it all in because we have to continue on with our day, instead of just taking the 30 seconds to shake it off and get it out of our system. So that will be the second one that I will show you, and I'm going to show you these in a very exaggerated way, because why not? Right? You can do them sort of half. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to swear, but you know what I mean. Or you can go full out and actually move this energy really quickly. And then the third one I'm going to show you is called the wood chop. You could also replace this with maybe punching a pillow or taking a towel and hitting the bed with it. This is a bit more vigorous. And it's really great to move the energy out of your body, and sound is really great in this one. So it is pretty straightforward. I'm going to model it for you, but really it's as though you're holding an axe above your head. You get into a nice stance again, which I'll show you, and then you're swinging the axe like you're chopping a piece of wood, quite fluidly and vigorously, and again with some sound, can make it really powerful. So these are the first three that I'm going to show you. So just as I get myself up ready to stand up, I would invite you to do the same, to come up to a standing position so we can do this together. Okay, so number one, the energy sweep. Right hand on left shoulder, sweep. Left hand on right shoulder, sweep. Right hand on left shoulder one more time, sweep. Right hand again, take it to the left shoulder, sweep this time over the hand. Left hand on right shoulder, sweep over the hand. One more time, right hand on left shoulder, sweep, and then a vigorous shake. So I'll do that one more time quickly. So it looks like, so you have this experience of some anger or some stress, and it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and shake. Okay, just notice how that feels for you. Number two is just shaking. So when you feel like you have an energy of stress or an energy of anger within you, you can just begin to shake it off. So you can start with the wrists, bounce in the legs, loosen the elbows, the shoulders. You can even let your belly go, which is really good to release. You may want to make some sound here. Again, you might feel like a dork, but it's really good to get this energy coming out your voice as you shake. So as much as you want to do this, right, you can actually just really release it from your body. So I'm just going to do this for about 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be longer than that. And again, if you do have some vocal noise coming out, that's even better. So just taking a moment to do this. Whatever comes through for you. And then you can just pause for a moment. You might just notice your body is vibrating. Just notice how you feel. And then number 3 is the wood chop. So just standing with your legs in a bit of a squat, turned out to the side. Arms go over the head like you're holding an axe in your hands. And then the sweep is down like you're chopping wood. You're going to let your head come down. I'm just showing you as I speak. And then you can do this as vigorously as you are able to, right? So whatever feels good for your body. And then you can add some sound. So something like you would expel as you are chopping wood. So something like, huh, huh, huh. So I'm going to recommend about 10 of these. Huh, 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 huh. And you'll notice that my sound got louder as I did this, as I connected more fully into my center, into my power. So just take a moment to notice how you feel. You will feel some energy moving. And when you're ready, you can come back to sitting as I have one more to show you. So just notice how that feels for you. It may feel foreign, it may feel weird, totally fine. That's okay. But just notice that you will feel a bit of an invigoration within you. You will feel perhaps some vibration in your energy. You may feel a bit lighter. And so, again, I just modeled these relatively quickly for you. And I spoke in the last video around we can actually process energy in 90 seconds, or the anger energy in 90 seconds if we would like to do that. So this is, I get it, you're not going to necessarily do this in your office or do this in front of your family, but you can find a way to do this. Go to the bathroom if you need to, or shut yourself in your room and just allow yourself to move this energy. It really is the most efficient way to do this, right? It does not take long. The energy is moved. You're going to feel lighter. And then I do want to give you one more that is seated. And so this is, I've mentioned this in other videos. So using tapping or emotional freedom technique to allow you to express. So this is when a really great one, if you don't feel like being physical and doing the things that I just shared, I get it, right? So I'm just giving you some different options. But they are super effective, those physical ones, and they're very efficient. But sometimes you may have like a lot of story happening in your head around why you're so angry, right? And so tapping is a fantastic tool to allow that language to come out. And so I'm not going to go into all the details around tapping. I've explained it in different videos. I will model it and I will take you through a couple of rounds, but really understanding that it's an energy clearing technique. So when you're voicing these angry thoughts, a lot of times we don't voice them at all because we don't want to be saying anything negative, right? We don't want to put anything out into the world that is negative because we've been told that we're supposed to be positive all the time, or we don't even want to magnetize anything negative. So just really understand that it's actually a clearing technique. It's a neutralizing technique. So it's actually to help you get back to a neutral place. So anger is not neutral. And so what I say to people all the time, because sometimes people don't want to say the thing, you're already feeling it anyway, right? It's not like you're making this up and adding this to your energy or your self, right? It's actually already within you. You are just giving it expression and using an effective tool to actually clear it. So I will take you through a couple of rounds. I'm going to just kind of come up with some language that I hear with people all the time. But my recommendation for you is to, if you can do 2 rounds, great. The first one's going to be kind of like a venti, angry round, right? Where you're actually expressing why you're so angry. And the second one is going to be either a neutral or even like an elevated uh, way of looking at things, right? And so if you can get to that second one, even better. And but I do encourage you to speak what is true for you, right? I'm so angry about this. I'm so mad at this. I can't believe this. I'm so tired of this. It's not fair. Whatever is the language that you have. Again, I'm going to use some language that I hear often or that I have used myself. And but I do encourage you to use your own language if this isn't resonating or when you do this on your own. So tapping points, really, you're going to use 2 fingers for the most part, maybe 3 in a couple of areas. I'm going to take you through the points. You just have to follow along. I'm just going to do the whole thing together with you. So I will tap and verbalize something, and all you need to do is tap on the same points that I'm tapping on and verbalize what I'm saying and or replace it with what you are wanting to say in the moment. And so these rounds can be 2 to 3 minutes each, and that's all you need. Okay, so I'm going to just take my glasses off so that I can access the points. So just beginning by tapping between the eyebrows. I'm so mad right now. And then going to the side of the eye. I can't believe this happened or continues to happen. I can't believe they did this. So you can complete that. Or I can't believe I did this. Under the nose. I'm so mad at them. Or I'm so mad at myself. Under the lip. I just want to scream. Under the collarbone. It's not fair. Why does this keep happening? The next one, side of rib cage. I'm so tired of this. Top of the head. I can feel this tightness in my chest. And then you go back between the eyebrows. I feel a tightness in my jaw. Side of the eye. I'm so mad right now. I just want to punch something or scream or kick or whatever it is for you. They are this, or I am this. Under the lip, I am so mad. And you can replace that with some other language if you like. Profanity can be really powerful. I'm going to refrain from it here, but feel free. I do it often myself and with my clients, actually. I'll leave that to you to decide. So whatever language needs to come out, whatever language is there under the collarbone. I have had it. I'm furious. I don't want to let this go. I deserve to be mad. And you can just pause for a moment. You can certainly do other rounds, continue on with this. If the points feel like too much, I always say just tap under a collarbone. It's very helpful. So just verbalizing, if you need to do this a few more times just to get that anger out. And whatever your language is, you'll know what your language is. It's not fair. That's a big one for me, right? And so whatever the language is that you find yourself saying over and over, you don't even have to say something different at each point, right? I did that just to model, but you can certainly say the same thing almost over and over again if it's what happens within your head. And then just to kind of complete this, I'm going to tie this into the tapping, but really almost to summarize what we've done here today around how we can actually process anger. Okay, so it's just going to tie it together that way. So same idea of following me, tapping and repeating what I'm saying. I'm allowed to be angry. It's part of my human experience. You can use both hands if you want, but I'm going to use one. I can really feel this anger in my body. So perhaps I will do more of the physical tools shown here. There is a reason that I am angry. Under the collarbone, it's showing me something that I need or want to address. It's showing me that a boundary has been crossed, or that something is not as I would like in my life experience right now. I honor my anger. I acknowledge it. I allow myself to feel it, to process it, to let it move through me. And I take any messages that are applicable for me right now. I will take any actions that I'm guided to from this more grounded place within myself. But I no longer choose to carry this anger energy within me. I've acknowledged it, and now I'm transmuting it into something useful and powerful. I am using this anger energy to fuel me and move me forward so that I can truly create the life experience I'm wanting to create. Okay, so again, you can just pause here. Just breathe into this. My glass is empty right now, but having water is always really good with all energy techniques, tapping especially. So of course you can continue this and make it a little bit longer. I've given you these four techniques so you can mix and match them. Some days you might just need a quick little sweep. Other days the tapping might feel good. Some days you might need the full shebang. And some days you may, I mentioned this in the last video, there are a couple other videos that offer some different suggestions for you. One that's really, really powerful is called the Hello Bubble or Hello Energy or hello, say hello to your dense emotions, something like that. Again, I'll link it or put it up here for you. It's a quieter version. So if all of this feels like too much, you're just not in the place to do that. I would recommend this stuff sometimes though, because anger energy tends to have a little something to it. It's not often a quiet energy, but if you are feeling that, then I would recommend the hello energy technique, which is super, super powerful, really fantastic technique I learned years ago, where you're actually just kind of communicating and moving the energy out and transmuting the energy outside of your body. So it's much more of an energy technique and a visualization than these ones here, but they're all fantastic tools. There's a couple of videos around quantum flow and sort of moving your body. So you'll see those as well. But I hope that you will take one or more of these and or maybe you have some other tools that you use for yourself, but really just understanding that, again, this energy around anger is legit. We do want to feel this. We want to allow it into our bodies so we can process it, but we actually don't want to hang out with it too long, and we don't want to store it in our bodies. So really it is about acknowledging that you have some anger around something. For some of you, you may have had some tears flowing today, or you may, if you do this deeper work or longer, you will notice, I see it all the time with clients, that there's anger on the outside, but it's actually the tears that kind of come when we go deeper. So just allow whatever is to be there to be there. Know that there's a message in it for you. So take the message and apply the message, and know that you can shift through, you can do the things like the journaling or the working with a coach or the exploration with a therapist or whatever you want to do on top of that. But that you can actually move this energy very effectively and efficiently through your body through these 4 tools that I've given you today. So I hope that you have enjoyed this little series on anger and allowing it to be a part of your human experience, because there really are gifts in anger. There really is power in anger, and it will allow you to light that fire within you. That's part of that fire within you. That is your power. That's your power center that allows you to show up in the world, to speak your truth, to claim what you want to claim, to be a powerful presence, and then ultimately to call in those experiences that match that. So really, we just use this anger sort of to transmute into something more powerful, into something more purposeful, into an energy that serves us to move us forward, as well as maybe gives us some insights into the little course corrections or tweaks or maybe big shifts that we need to make in our life experience. So I hope it was enjoyable. I hope there was some validation for you if you're feeling these energies. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, love to have you along for the ride. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you next week.